What is going on, guys? I'm Steve. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video. If it's your first time stopping by the channel, hit that subscribe button. Trust me, you won't regret it. If you're a return subscriber, as always, guys, welcome back, and I do appreciate the support. Guys, listen. I got some news about a case that I covered a couple of weeks ago, and it was involving this young man right here. God rest his soul. This is 9-year-old Zamar King of Detroit, Michigan. And he tragically lost his life at the hands of his mother, pictured here. This crazy woman, Brandee Peirce, age 41. Now, if you guys remember, this is the story that shocked the nation when it made national news about a Detroit mother that killed her 9-year-old son, bound his hands and feet, dug a hole and buried his body in the backyard of the Detroit home she was renting, only for a few months before booking to Georgia. Now, the reason why we're talking about this today, she just had her arraignment hearing, and I'm going to show it to you with all these lawyers on there. I want you to look at how wild this woman looks. They're not disputing the fact that she did what she did, and I'm going to show it to you. But for people that are new to the channel, I want to show the original story, let you guys see it, because more information has come out, and what they say in this arraignment hearing lets you know this was premeditated, whether she was crazy or not. And if there are flowers out there, she needs to see them immediately. You hear what I'm saying? Because what she did was cruel, callous, and calculated. Your own son, you did this. They went to go remodel the house and found a foot sticking out of the ground. His foot wasn't even decomposed yet. How sick is that? Said he was killed in October. Take a look at this story. We're going to come back and I'm going to tell you a couple of things before I show you this arraignment video.
Shortly after, she buried the body in the backyard and went to the state of Georgia.
You heard right. Prosecutor Kim Worthy talking about a mother, 41-year-old Brandee Peirce, who allegedly strangled her 9-year-old son, Zamar King III, then buried his body in a shallow grave in her backyard of her home on Woodingham, and then 2 weeks later fled to Georgia.
The police were notified. They immediately went out to the house on Woodingham. They were shown that grave by the owner of that particular property. They saw the foot sticking out of the ground, and it went from there.
The prosecutor says the murder actually took place in October of 2024.
And that the cause of death found by the medical examiner was smothering and neck compression.
But it gets more gruesome than that.
It's alleged that she purchased a shovel. She bound him by tying his hands and feet together and dug a hole in the background of the house on Woodingham, where she had been living for a short time.
Then on November 6th, Peirce allegedly fled to Georgia with her 3-year-old son.
That Zamar's mother, Brandee Peirce, is currently in Cobb County, Georgia, and we will be requesting her to be extradited back to Michigan.
Fox 2 discovered that while Peirce was in Georgia, she was facing a felony charge of child cruelty in the first degree. That child is currently in foster care in Georgia. Shocking, even for seasoned law enforcement.
This case is rather shocking. In my 27-year career, I don't remember seeing anything like this.
A formal arraignment will be set when Peirce is extradited from Georgia. In Detroit, Charlie Langton, Fox 2 News.
Seeing that was a recap of the story of this woman, Brandee Peirce, aka the Detroit Killer Mom. Now, before I show you this arraignment hearing, it's like 6 minutes long. They have her in and out, but they're going to tell you some details. Now, before we get into that, let's go back. You remember I did the story where they did an investigative report on this whole situation, and Zamar King was abandoned once before. And he said he didn't know where he belonged and came across his mom, and they gave him back to her. CPS was notified. They knew she had mental problems. She told them she had mental problems. She was thinking of hurting the kids. They separated the kids one time at the hospital shortly before Zamar King's death. And he said his mom choked him multiple times and she wants to kill him. And she's going to kill him. And what did she do? She did it. CPS did nothing. A lot of people failed this child. Him, 9 years old, cried for help, went unanswered. Not the first time. And the way we're set up right now, it damn sure won't be the last time. Now, I'm going to tell you something. Remember they said she went and got a shovel? We was all sitting around thinking that this happened the same day after she killed him. It wasn't like that. This whole thing was premeditated. The day before, she went and got a shovel and a wagon. So she had planned on taking his life and then transporting his body. She didn't know the distance, so she had a wagon in case she was just to drag him around like he was trash. Your own damn son, regardless of the craziness. I'm going to tell you something about mental illness that's wild to me that you're seeing. People can be crazy and do crazy things and still have love and protective nature for their children. But for some odd reason, it's not like that. Now everybody crazy is violent against those right next to them. And it's growing. Don't understand it. Ain't trying to understand it. This could have been prevented. You see, they mentioned that the little boy, another little boy, I think they said he was 3, but she fled with her other child to Georgia. They said she went through Illinois, then through Wisconsin before heading to Georgia. When she was down there in Georgia, she got in trouble for the situation with a 3-year-old boy. He was found in the car in 40-degree temperatures, no clothes on, car filled with feces, and he laying up there on a deflated air mattress. That's what she got in trouble for. That's how they caught her and brought her up here, back to Detroit. This is craziness. It's like nobody wants to do their job. They got these organizations set up to help people and help children, and everybody claim they care. And then something crazy like this happened. You go back and look at the research, and then you do some investigative reporting. All of a sudden, there are people that just treated this like a 9-to-5 and didn't realize or act like lives were at stake. I can't even talk today. Seriously, what are we doing here? Really, what are we doing? It's always a passing of the buck to somebody else, enough to make your head spin where you say, you know what, forget it. This shouldn't be forgiven. Shouldn't be forgotten. He shouldn't be forgotten. And other children like him. Regardless of where they come from or who they are, they're children. They deserve the chance to make a better life than the parents that bore them. This whole thing makes me sick. Stuff like this bother me, y'all. I wish I could fix it. I want you to take a look at this thing, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care.
The court is calling case number 25-055-67401. The people of the state of Michigan versus Brandee Patrice Peirce. May I have your appearances, please?
Good morning, Your Honor. Tina Ripley on behalf of the people, P83688.
And good morning, Ryan Moran, P83665 on behalf of Ms. Brandee Peirce. We waive the formal reading. Ms. Peirce stands mute. She's been advised of her rights.
Okay, good morning to you both. The court will enter a not guilty plea on behalf of Ms. Peirce. Ms. Ripley, your bond recommendation.
Yes, Judge. People are asking for a remand in this case. The facts in this case are nothing short of egregious. Zamar King was a 9-year-old child who was treated like he was a piece of garbage. He deserved better, and we believe the evidence will show that back in April of 2024, the defendant and her 2 children went to a hospital for help. CPS got involved. Zamar told CPS that his mother chokes him and wants to kill him. Fast forwarding to October of 2024, the defendant and her 2 children are living in Detroit on Woodingham. The defendant orders a shovel and a wagon from Walmart. She digs a hole in her backyard behind her garage. Later in October, I believe October 24th, Zamar wakes up early as would be usual for him. We believe that the evidence will show that the defendant smothered and suffocated Zamar, and that the defendant heard his last gasping breath and decided to walk away. That when the defendant came back to Zamar, he was blue, and instead of helping him, she decided to bind his arms and legs, put him in a wagon, and take him out to the hole that she had in her backyard and bury him. The callousness with which the defendant treated Zamar cannot be understated. The defendant is an absolute threat to the community and the pleasures. After his killing, the defendant took herself and her other son to Illinois, Wisconsin, and then down to Georgia, where they had been residing. The defendant was subsequently arrested 2 times in Georgia for crimes involving her mother, son, and drugs. We had directed that make this warrant. So people believe it's appropriate.
Okay, thank you. Your response, Mr. Murad?
Judge, so on behalf of Ms. Peirce, I can tell you that she's 46 years old. She's not employed at this time, Your Honor. She has absolutely no income. She does suffer from disorders that I'm not aware of she's received her medication for. I can tell you that in talking to her, we understand that she's received a master's degree as well. Ultimately, Your Honor, you know, I think we lost this correctly, so there we go. So ultimately, Your Honor, when it comes to bond, I think it's important to know that it's easy to, you know, read up a police report and read the most egregious allegations and then confine somebody to jail. What I'm asking the court to do here is to use the least restrictive means possible and confine her to a homeless shelter. She would ultimately be any concerns that the prosecutor or the court would have would be addressed with a home confinement GPS tether to a homeless shelter. She is homeless, Your Honor. I don't think it's appropriate for me to even argue the facts in this case at this stage. But when it comes to ties to the community or flight risk, I hear what the prosecutor is saying, that she wasn't found in another state. I still think Tether addresses that. So my ultimate request, Your Honor, is to release her on a reasonable bond, confining her to a homeless shelter.
Okay, thank you. After listening to the arguments of the parties, the court has had an opportunity to review the investigator's report and take into consideration the background information that has been presented by defense counsel. The court certainly is concerned. Not only is Ms. Peirce a danger to the community, but also a flight risk. After these egregious acts or allegations, she left the state, was in Illinois, Wisconsin, and then found in Georgia. So a flight risk, that's pretty much clear. As it relates to being a danger, as Ms. Ripley indicated, the facts are just egregious in terms of how this child was found, the condition, being tied, body having been decomposed, the prior information that was submitted in terms of the contact with Child Protective Services. And based upon that information, she definitely poses a threat to the community. So the court believes that based upon the information, finds through clear and convincing evidence that she is a danger. Also, that based upon the information that has been set forth in the investigator's report, it appears that the presumption of guilt is high, and the court is going to remand this matter pursuant to MRE 6.106B1I. So, Ms. Peirce, court is going to set a remand in this case. Is there anything else
Thank you,
from
Judge.
the people?
No, Judge.
Not as relates to bond. I'm going to give the court dates in a moment. Anything else from you, Mr. Moran?
I don't have anything further at this time, Judge.
Okay, thank you. Then we have 2 dates, Ms. Peirce. You have a probable cause conference that's scheduled for March the 7th at 8:30. That will be by Zoom. You also have the right to a preliminary examination, which is scheduled for March the 13th at 1:45 p.m. Now that matter will be conducted in person. Both of those matters are scheduled before Judge Jacquet in the 36th District Court. So if there's nothing further, then this concludes this matter.
Thank you, Your Honor.